This one is a very special episode. We bring to you not one, but two special guests. Their life and journey is testament to what resilience and true passion actually leads to. It is a pleasure to talk to Chef Roshni Gurnani and Chef Hemant Mathur, legendary chefs, and they are doing magic when it comes to Indian food. Listen to it. Hi, I'm Mamta Nerula, radio host, MC, and storyteller. After 25 years connecting with audiences on EBC radio and at major South Asian events, I'm excited to bring you Moments with Mamta. This podcast shares real conversations about the moments that shape us, stories of growth, grit, and inspiration. Thank you for listening and welcome to Moments with Mamta. All right. Moments with Mamta has, a bunch of people who are actually celebrities in their own rights. And we just started this series and I'm just surprised that one after the other, the guests who are actually coming on this show are actually chefs and they are very renowned within the community, within the nation. And today it's such a pleasure to have one and only Chef Rosh, if I can call her that, but Roshni Gurnani. Let's do it the right way. Roshni, welcome to Moments with Mamta.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I appreciate you inviting me for this.
Yeah, so should I call you Rosh, Chef Rosh, or Roshni?
Roche is good. All my friends call me Roche, so I feel like we are building a friendship. So it's perfect.
You got it. We're starting a relation here. So now I actually have been following your work over the years. And right before this podcast, I actually wanted to read a bit and see what you have been up to lately. So if people don't know who Chef Rosh is, how do you explain yourself? Who are you?
Um, I am a classically trained chef. I trained here in North America, and I've been doing this for 20 years, over 20 years. And about 10 years ago, I said it's time for me to do my own food. I've done everyone else's food. It's time for me to finally do my own food. And when I say my own food, it's working towards putting Sindhi food on the map. My background is Sindhi, and that's not the only thing I cook, but that's what I focus on. When someone says, "What's your specialty?" or "We want to try your food," that's me. That's me in a nutshell. Is I'm a Sindhi born and raised, and our culture, unfortunately, is very small and it's dying. And one of the ways that I can try to keep it alive is through food. And that's what I've dedicated the past probably 9.5, 10 years of my career to do.
So when you were growing up, were you born in India?
I was not, but I grew up with a very strict family. Both my parents are Sindhi, my grandparents, typical Sindhi journey, born in modern day Pakistan, and then migrated to India after the partition, and then both my parents were born there. For those of you who don't know what Sindhi culture is, it originates in what's modern day Persia. Um, the people, the food, the culture, the language, our script. If you look at our script, it looks very much like Arabic or Urdu. And through that, great grandparents migrated to Pakistan and grandparents migrated to India. And Sindhis are all over the world. They're known for many different things. One of the most prominent things that we're known for is our businesses, business people. And people often ask me, is it a religion? And it's not a religion. It's a culture. It's a culture, it's a language, it's a way of life. Actually, Sindhis are all different religions. I know Sindhis that are Hindus, that are Muslims, that are Sikhs, that are Christians. So it doesn't define a person as a religion, so to say. It's more like when someone says, "Oh, I'm Punjabi" or "I'm Gujarati." They could be any religion, but that's their culture, that's their upbringing. And our food is very different than any other Indian food or any other Pakistani food. Our flavors are different. Our dishes are different altogether. And that's why I sort of said, to myself, where do I want to go in my career? I've cooked at all these hotels, all these restaurants around the world, and I've done other people's food, and like enough is enough. But do I have enough substance to be able to do that as a one person show? And that's the goal, and that's the strive. And there are obviously around the world there are definitely other Sindhi chefs, some doing Sindhi food, some not. But outside of India, especially in North America, there isn't. And that's sort of where I'm trying to build the growth and knowledge that, as you walk in, anyone walks in and knows chicken tikka masala or dosa, they're going to know, sale da broti, or they're going to know dal pakwan. And that's the goal.
So tell me, Rashni, you said it's very different. So what is a Sindhi food? Like, how is it different?
Our aromatics are totally different. We are non-veg, so we use a lot of earthy ingredients. You will taste a lot of fenugreek in our food. You'll taste a lot of cardamom, a lot of cinnamon. There's actually, we didn't grow up eating paneer. Paneer is not a Sindhi thing, and it's very homely. And even now, when I go out and I do, 7, 8, 10 course meals, I'm putting our culture on the plate. And it's things people will always say, wow, I've never had this before. I've had Indian food all my life. I've never had this before. Indians, being Indian, have never had Sindhi food before. Um,
That's true. To me, it's a revelation that paneer is not Sindhi food.
yeah, yeah. The stereotypical, oh, yeah, Sindhi curry. And, it's so much more. We didn't grow up every day eating Sindhi curry. There's so much more to that. It's the style of cooking, the marination of cooking, the ingredients that we use. We don't use creams, we don't use butters. We use a lot of dry spices, a lot of sauces per se, but homemade sauces. So something like what's a sale de broti or sale mani, which is basically stewed bread or stewed leftover roti. It's a way to use your leftovers. It's stewed in this beautiful aromatic sauce of cilantro, mint, fenugreek, onions, tomatoes, and it's usually a breakfast dish. And I kid you not, when I do this dish, wherever I do it across North America, and it's a vegan dish, and I'm serving it to non Indian people, that is the number one dish that they're like, I need this recipe.
Oh my God, I want to try this. I mean,
And
sounds
I
very interesting.
and I've done it on a sit down meal instead of doing a traditional bread roll or naan or roti on the side. I've done this as the bread course, and it's just I've gone to the most rural places that you can imagine, and this dish has won awards because of it. And it's the most simple dish that grandmothers invented to use leftover roti or day old stale bread.
That's simply amazing. I
Yeah,
know different parts of India have a similar thing where they use the leftover rotis. I know Gujaratis have something similar, but it's not. The preparation is different, but the
right,
concept is same. That you use your leftover bread.
right.
Yeah. So tell me, chef, when you were growing up and you grew up here in US, what was the home culture like? I'm sure you come from academic background. So what was your childhood days like, and what did you actually wanted to become then?
My childhood days, two immigrant working parents, they wanted the best for us, doctor, lawyer, engineer. And I get this question a lot is like, why did you get into cooking or how did you get into cooking? And there's many different reasons. As I said, both my parents were working, so they'd call us and say, hey, can you make the atta for the roti? We're coming home. Or can you cut the vegetables for the sabji? We're coming home. But for me, it was going to school and looking at other people's lunch boxes and wanting to eat that and not even knowing, what macaroni and cheese was or, a grilled cheese sandwich. Or I didn't know that because we never had that growing up. Um, and so I used to sort of experiment. And there's maybe one cooking show on TV at that time, and I'd watch it. And I still remember it was like an old man, like he was just cooking. And I was like, this is what I want to do. And I was probably 7 or 8 years old. And I didn't know the word chef. I just knew that when I grow up, I want to cook. I just want to cook for people.
That's amazing. That's lovely. So you
Yeah.
knew when you were very little that what you wanted to be.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I have not, there was one other job that I thought of, and my dreams was crushed very young. I wanted to be a flight attendant. And at that
Oh,
time, and at that time, you had the minimum you had to be was stand 5'4", and I was never going to get there. So I knew at that time my dream is crushed right then and there. But the reason I wanted to be a flight attendant, I look back at it now, is because I wanted to travel the world and learn about different foods.
that's amazing because and on the same note, when I was growing up, and I think I was in high school or first or second year of college in India, I grew up there. In fact, I got interviewed for one of the flight attendants positions in an airline called Cathay Pacific at that time. So I wanted to become a flight attendant myself, which I did not
Right,
become end up. So okay, so you knew exactly, and that's amazing, right? Because not many kids at that age know what they want to be.
right,
Yeah,
right.
they may have like all these dreams and likings, but they that ultimately changes.
Correct.
So when you disclose to your parents that hey, you want to be into cooking or culinary school, what was their reaction?
It was an absolutely no. That's what you're gonna do. We didn't come to this country work hard for you to do a laborer's job. And at that time, now think about it. 20 years ago, being a chef wasn't cool. There wasn't the Food Network. There was maybe Sanjeev Kapoor that they could relate to, but nobody else. In their mind, being a chef was having a stall on the side of the road in India.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, chefs today are actually celebrities, or they have taken
Right?
this whole culinary thing to a different level. But at the back then, of course, yeah,
No, and
no.
my dad was like, I have some immigrant friends that come, they couldn't find a job, so they're in the kitchen now. They're in Indian restaurants now. They work all night, they work every weekend, they work every holiday. No way you're going to do this. No one's going to marry you, blah, blah, blah. It just became, and then all through high school, any job I would have would be in a restaurant and I would hide it from them.
Yeah. So
Any
and
part-time job.
on that note, being a chef is a tough job. Yeah, beat the chefs like 30 years ago when they were in, just to make money, they were in the Indian kitchens. All
Right,
the chefs today who are celebrities like you, it is a very tough job because you're feeding people and there's a lot of critical, aspect to that. And people have their own taste when it comes to
right.
food. Indians have variety of taste and non-Indians have their own taste. So how do you handle that part of the criticism or the negative or the failure part of your job?
You know what? I think for me, starting in this industry, the hardest part was the hours and being a woman in the industry. It wasn't so much the critique of people, because I sort of went in and again going back, I was just as a job. I was just as a cook. I was just making my way into this career path and growing. So for me, I wasn't the one directly getting the critiques. It would be the chef, but I'm doing their recipe. What was the hard part is being a woman in the kitchen, trying to earn the respect, the hours, the late nights, the weekends, the holidays, missing, family functions. That was the hardest part for me. And sometimes still is, in the sense of finding that balance and
So yeah,
finding that.
women in chef business, right? You mentioned. So what
Mhm.
are the challenges?
Um, we're still a minority, unfortunately, in the industry. We're still a minority. It is still very much male dominant. So walking in there as a 5 foot tall person or 5 foot short person, they already have a judgment in their mind. And still to date, knowing who I am, I walk into different events, I walk into different festivals, award ceremonies. Um, and I'm looked at right away. Oh, okay. Oh, that's you. Okay, we didn't know. Or, oh, we expected a totally different, And I said, if you want to judge me through my food. Don't judge me of what I look like or how I look or how tall I am or how short I am. Judge me for the plate that I put in front of you.
So irrespective of the profession, I guess it's the looks. That's the first thing. And the judgment starts from there. And then it's the profession, right? Because be it anywhere, we walk in corporate offices or we walk in my media circle, it is the looks that comes first.
I
That's
think
kind of
it
sad,
is
yeah.
for Indian people, it is or South Asians or any foreigner walking into a job with a foreign name. No one knows your gender, which is almost a plus point on our side, right? No one can really tell your gender by going by Chef Roche,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's a plus point until I get there, and then it's like my foot's already in the door, so I've already done the first step. Now, let me show you. And it's always, always, always worked in my favor. I kid you not, I've been in positions before where I have been, through ingredients, have been sabotaged from chefs that are older than me, that are more senior than me, that are male. And all I think of that is, it is insecurity on their part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Insecurity
I
on their part.
agree. I agree. So when people behave in these fashion, right, in this fashion, it is insecurity the first thing, and
Right.
also it's a fear of unknown, right? I mean, what is she going to do? Like,
Exactly.
is she going to take
How
our
did she
position?
how did
Yeah,
she get here and we're, 10 years her senior? How did she get here?
yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
So you started your first job, and that was right after college. So you studied culinary, right?
I did. So I had part-time jobs in high school. They were all kitchens. But then when I did my undergraduate, my bachelor's in business, and then I said, you know what, enough. I can't do it. And I remember when I had applied to culinary school and I got in, and we were on a flight to India, me and my parents. And that's when I told them, I said, when we come back from India, I'm going to culinary school. And I told them on the flight because I said they can't yell and scream at me. They can't get mad at me. Um, and that's what I did. I told them on the way to India, we come back, I leave in 2 weeks. And my dad was very upset. He's like, I want you to rethink it. It doesn't make sense. We work so hard. You're going to do this job. It's not respected. And at the end of the day, at that time, I was very upset with him. And I look at it now, and even as an adult, I looked at it, and it's like, you want the best for your child, and he and my mom both, their mindset is you can make a lot more money doing a 9 to 5 than doing this. And we never spoke about what we're passionate about. In our generation, we never spoke about what makes us feel happy. It was, we took the job that paid the most and to earn the most money. And that's how they were raised. And that's how what we were also raised as. My brother went into accounting. Like, this is what we were raised to do. And it was me breaking that norm,
It was
to the
like,
point.
you do your college, you get a job, you make money, and that's it. That was the whole goal of life.
That's it, and it came to a point where I still remember I'd gone to culinary school, and I had some Indian friends that, at that time would email me, hey, Roche, what can you suggest? I want to go into culinary school. And I would just, email back. Their dads then called my dad and said, your daughter's brainwashing our daughters to be a chef, and our daughter is going into med school. So tell your daughter to leave my daughter alone.
Oh my
It got
God.
to
Oh
that
my God.
point, and I was like, Papa, that's not the case at all. Like, that's not the case at all.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. So,
and
so you lived through that. You lived through
Yeah,
that phase, yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And for me, I still say it. I am so lucky that I wake up and I love what I do 20 years later.
No,
I don't have a plan. Probably a year ago, someone asked me, they're like, what's your plan B in life? And I thought about it for a long time, and it sort of upset me because I couldn't think of it. And I come back and I ask my best friends, I'm like, hey, do you have a plan B? They're like, yeah. Do you have a plan B? Yeah. And I said, shit, I don't have a plan B.
So,
And then
I think people like you, I think when at the age of 7 or 8 or 10, you know exactly what you want to be. I think plan Bs are not there for you. I mean, you,
And
you
that's
don't need
exactly and
to.
exactly what my best friend said. She said, Roche, you're doing your plan A, so you don't need a plan B. It's us who are not doing our plan A that have a plan B. Our plan B in our life was what we wanted to do as our plan A.
And this is so true. And
You know?
I would say, without knowing a lot of people, about 90-95% of the people live that life where they want
Yep.
to do something, but they cannot because of
Right.
whatever financial or whatever reasons. And they end up doing a job and they live their life. But the
Right.
dream, the aspiration is always in the back of the mind. So I think you are incredibly lucky. I'm
I'm very
sure.
lucky. I'm blessed. And I say that to people. It's like I'm so blessed, and I thank God every day that I wake up and I'm excited to go to work. I'm excited to do my job. Cooking is my love language. Like, people will say all the time, I go visit family or whatever, and I have a lot of cousins that they don't really cook that much, and I'm like, hey, I'll meal prep for you. I'm here. It'll take me a couple hours. No, Rose, don't do that. I'm like, this is the way I show my love.
Yeah, that's really,
This
really
is the way
amazing.
I
It's
show
very
my love.
helpful, right?
You
Food
know,
is the necessity. I mean, everything we do in our life is for food. End of the
right,
day, right? So,
right.
so tell me, after you graduated and you got your first job, and then you actually worked at couple places before the big things started happening.
Right. So I finished culinary school. Still, my parents weren't happy. They actually didn't even come to watch me graduate, to be honest with you. So I said, you know what? I need to go and do something and make something of myself before I can come home. So I wanted to travel the world. So I started to apply to places. I applied to Bermuda. I applied to Asia. I applied to Europe, and I said, where can I go that I sort of know what's going on, but I can still learn a lot. And I had been to India several times growing up, both my grandparents, when we were kids, but I had never been to Goa. And Goa at that time, 20 years ago, was the place to go. It was the Hawaii of Asia. And I applied to some resorts in Goa, and I got the opportunity. And I said, okay, well, at least I'm in India. My parents will be happy I'm in India. I have family around. I'm going to go to Goa. and I went to Goa, and I started my career in Goa with the Hyatt brand of hotels.
Lovely. So that's a big brand to start
Yeah,
with.
and it was the Park Hyatt. It's now ITC, but it was the Park Hyatt Goa Resort and Spa, and it was the at that time the largest swimming pool in Asia, the most villas, the top 5-star resort in India. So I was like, if I'm going to go, I got to go to the best, because at least I have that brand behind me, and that confidence behind me. And of course, I started at the bottom. I was right fresh out of school as a fresher. I worked very, very hard, again, in a very male dominated environment. I didn't know the language, but, and there was days that I cried almost every day, and our the work life there was you work 16 hours, 6 days a week.
Wow.
And I did it. And when you say that, and the people, the biggest challenge for me was the people could not understand, why would you come from North America to India when we're trying to leave India to come to North America?
Yeah, I mean that's a big question, but I think the experience that you got there.
That was it for me. I wasn't chasing money. I was chasing a career. I was not chasing money. I was chasing a career.
I think what I'm hearing is just by our first conversation here, and that took just few minutes. You're very confident. You were always very
I
confident.
knew what I wanted. It wasn't even about confidence. It was like, I know what I need to do in order to get there, and I'm not going to let any obstacle in my way. So any guys, any male chefs, anything, it was like, okay, I would listen to the BS. I would put up with it. I'd go home and cry, but I would be there the next day.
That takes guts, right? You
It
have to
was
be
hard. It
very
was hard,
strong. Yeah,
you
you have to
know.
be. Yeah, you have to be very, very strong to be able to do that.
And yeah, did it cross my mind? Let me quit and come home 100 times. But I was like, no, I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. I want to grow. I want to see the world. And then I stayed in Goa for 2 years until I had to leave for, paperwork reasons. And then I left with the Hyatt brand and I moved to England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I moved to England and totally different environment. I was actually making some money now. I mean, in Goa, whatever I made, I spent living on the beach and, drinking beer. And now moving to England, I was like, okay, I'm older. I got to get serious. I have to start paying off student loans. And I moved to England and it was fantastic. And within living in London, I was able to work at our sister companies within Europe. They would send us to go train at an opening company or opening hotel. So I got to see a lot of that. And I got to see a totally different environment where actually, you know what? Yes, it is male dominant, but I'm not scared to go to work anymore. I'm not crying every day. There is some sort of a balance. Like instead of working 16 hours, we were working 12. And that seemed like a half a day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So all along, Chef Roche, how till this time when you were in England, how was your relationship with your parents?
It was phone calls. Like, moms are always softer, so it was always great. And, I get the gossip and all that from my mom. And, my dad, luckily my dad has a brother in England, so I'd go visit them on my days off. So that sort of built. And, I was earning decent money. I was earning what, someone out of college would earn, I don't know, as fresh into the financial field.
Oh, lovely. Oh, that's
But
great.
my dad saw it as, okay, they're earning this for 40 hours a week. You're earning the same thing for 80 hours a week.
So there's always that comparison. There's always that money angle, right? End of the day,
Right.
you have to make money to,
Correct.
to survive. Okay. So now this London chapter ended after what, few years?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then you moved back to US.
I did. I moved back home just for some personal reasons. Some family dynamics changed. So I had moved back home to be with family. And again, still with the Hyatt brand, took on a job very close to the house, very close to my parents' house. I was living with my parents, back with my parents. And even then, my dad's like, I don't see you. I don't know when you're working, when you're coming, where you're going, what you're doing. And that's when I said, you know what? I need to focus on how to balance this out and how to make this work. And how can I do that? And I sort of left hotels at this point and got into the corporate world.
So let's talk about Chopped, the winner
Sure.
of Chopped, and that big feather on your cap, already full of
Yes.
feathers. So let's talk about that before I let you go.
Sure. So I had applied for Chopped. I had watched, I'd seen it on TV, and you know, I was encouraged to apply, and I said, they're never gonna pick me. It's all Americans. They don't pick. There's no brown people on there. Yeah, you're not gonna pick me. And I applied, and I went through the interview process, and I was the first South Asian woman to be selected to be on Chopped. I was the first South Asian woman to win Chopped. Again, it's four competitors, four contestants. I was the only woman. I was the only person of color. And again, I went in there and I did my food, and I said, you know, I'm not there to win. It would be great to win, but if I didn't win, I'm doing my food. And now, any Food Network, I've been on several Food Network shows since, both winning and losing. I have put my food on the Food Network. If you go through my Instagram, there's clips of certain shows that when they put the script on the bottom of what the dish is, whatever, there's a couple of them that say, I'm talking about what Sindhi food is. And they actually put that in the script of underneath, what Sindhi food is and what Sindhi cuisine is. And, another show that I was on was Beat Bobby Flay, and I challenged him with Sindhi food. And he himself said the word Sindhi over 20 times. So
Oh,
I said, if
wow.
someone Googles this word, then I'm a winner. That's all I want.
So I think you are the ambassador for Sindhi food.
I
You
don't
are.
know if that's a strong word. I'm just a person that loves my culture, and I hope it stays alive.
That is just really really amazing. And to me, Sindhi food had only 4 or 5 items, but
Right.
I'm going to try. So I knew koki, I knew Sindhi
Yeah.
curry, obviously, and dal pakwan. But I'm going to
Right.
try. There are very few Sindhi food restaurants actually where I live, or in US in general.
In US in general, I know New York has the famous kalash prabat, which is a Sindhi snack food item. I know that in Toronto, in Canada, they opened one up, and unfortunately it didn't work out. And that's sort of my thing. People are like, when are you going to open your Sindhi restaurant? When are you going to open your Sindhi restaurant? And I said, when people know what Sindhi food is. I'm not going to
Yeah,
open and fail.
it's work in the progress for you.
Right.
And
So
yeah,
for me, when I do any charity dinners, or I do wine pairing dinners, or I do any even private dinners or gala dinners, I'm always doing Sindhi food. And I will continue to do that. I travel around the United States, I travel around the world, and that's what I'm going to do. There's no point in me going and doing chicken tikka masala. Not that that's a bad dish. There's no point in me going doing sag paneer. Again, not that that's a bad dish, but that a million people do that.
and these dishes are so overrated. Everybody is doing it, and
Everyone's doing it.
yeah, yeah. So, chef, do you have any restaurants in US?
I do not. I do everything private that I do. I do all private events. I don't advertise anywhere. It's all through word of mouth. And it keeps me pretty damn busy, to be honest with you.
Well, some
Um,
people don't need to advertise themselves, right? They
no,
themselves are advertisements.
and that's it. Those who want to try Sindhi food or know of me, know where to get a hold of me. It's just like Sema in New York. He's doing his regional South Indian food. Like, South Indian food's everywhere, but Chef Vijay is doing his regional one from Coimbatore and where he's from. And that's putting him on the map, and putting his food on the map. And for me, it's just that. Like, I tell people I don't go into competitions anymore knowing, or wanting to win. I go in wanting to promote my culture.
That's super lovely,
And
and
that's it.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for the confidence that you exude, the personality that you have, and the success you have achieved purely for, I think, two reasons. One, obviously, you're very blessed. Second, you've worked hard for it. You
And that's
knew
it.
exactly what you wanted, but you have actually slogged it and you have done it. So, what would be your message to all these women chefs who are trying to get into the field, or trying to make a place for themselves?
Trying to get in the field, find your niche, follow your passion. It is hard work, it is dedication. And there's not a lot of women South Asian chefs out there. We network with us, network with each other. I'm the type of person, and there are people that are going to listen to this podcast and say absolutely right. I am the type of person that I pay it forward, and I help and I mentor. I always say that. There's a lot of chefs that don't do that, and they don't share recipes, and they don't do that. And it's like, tomorrow, if God takes me, I want to leave my recipes. I want to
Oh,
leave my experiences. So reach out and network with us. I could speak for, out of the 10 South Asian chefs that I know, South Asian women chefs. I'll say 10 out of 10 will be there helping you. So reach out, network, and just have a goal and set it and reach it. I mean, do everything you need to do to reach it. A huge support system helps. I say it all the time. I said if I had that support earlier on in life, I could, maybe it might have been a little bit easier, but I also think it being hard for me made me work that much harder.
Oh yeah, and if people look at your journey, I think they'll be inspired to get
Uh,
into this
you
field.
know,
And if they're ready to work, I mean, you have
right.
to put
You
in
know,
all your heart and soul.
and that's it. And unfortunately, the culinary culture, becoming a chef is a dying trade right now. Just because the young kids want it to come easy, they want the fame of the Food Network. They don't want to put in the hours. So we are a dying trade right now. So I try to also go in to schools and colleges and sort of promote it. Like, hey, like there's this generation of chefs that's me right now. There's not really anyone else coming through. So we need to keep it alive as well in that sense. And nothing, I mean, nothing comes easy. It comes as easy as it goes. If that
You
makes
know
sense to
what? This
you,
is
right?
so much to absorb, Roshni. To me, it was very fulfilling experience talking to you.
Oh, it was awesome talking to you.
You have given some amazing moments to moments with Mamta, and I wish we had a video call, but next time, maybe in
Next
person.
time in the
Yeah.
future, I'll do a Sindhi dish on the call. How about that?
You got that. Yeah. Thank you very much. And just
My pleasure.
keep rocking the
Thank
world
you.
and keep promoting Sindhi food. You go, girl. We're
Yes.
proud of
Thank
you.
you. Thank you,
Thank
Mamta.
you. Thank you. Bye bye. So, as part of this food series that we have just started, it makes me feel so happy that I am getting such a fabulous response from all these chefs and the renowned chefs who are so acclaimed, so busy, but they are giving time to me and to Moments with Mamta. So today we have one of these personalities जिनको king of tandoor भी कहा जाता है और he is so popular when it comes to food and his food preparations, so that my heart is so happy and my tummy is hungry now because I am talking to none other than Hemant Mathur. So Chef Mathur, welcome to Moments with Mamta.
Thank you inviting me and this. So yeah, I'm also honored to be on your podcast stories. I'm happy to you're doing chef series or food series. So because we want to Indian food should be in mainstream more. So I think
Yes, sir.
Podcast will be help lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So Chef, tell me something that if people who are not too aware of the Indian chefs here in US, how would you describe yourself? Who is Chef Hemant Mathur?
So I'm in this United States from last 30 years, and my main criteria to Indian food should be more popular in mainstream, and people our culture or Indian culture, Indian food is very rich, and people now is coming slowly. They love it. There are more people coming to eat Indian food, and so I'm trying to be making more regional food to everybody. So I have so for this I have done a lot of restaurants. So I'm running 5 restaurants, maybe all one in Connecticut, one Westchester, and 3 in New York.
We will
So
talk
it's
about all of that, but I first want to hear about your journey. How did it all start? When did you become a chef? When
okay.
did you? Yeah, so
You
let's
know,
talk
okay.
about your whole story, your whole journey.
Okay. So okay. So I studied in this culinary college from Jaipur in 1983, 1984. Then I'm going for an internship in very good five-star hotel called Rambagh Palace. So I just internship in Rambagh Palace. Then I joined Taj Group of Hotels. I started it from Taj Mansingh, and then I come back and one hotel opened Jamal Palace, Jaipur. And after a brief time, I worked Jaipur, and then I moved to Delhi. So Delhi, I worked for iconic restaurant Bukhara. This famous for tandoori food still is very top. So there I learned more tandoori cooking, more marinations, and this, and then
So,
after that,
Chef, I want to stop you here for a second. So, the places that you mentioned in Jaipur, they
yeah,
are the stars of India. These are the shining culinary
yeah,
stars. right?
Yeah.
You talk about Rambagh Palace to anyone. So tell us a little bit about your experience working there, because it must be something that not many people know. What happens in the kitchen?
Yeah, yeah. So kitchen is that time I'm a training time, and so I'm learned from their chefs, and I work in kitchen. Almost 12 to 14 hours to So this is then this experience you can say I'm using here in the US
That is
because
very true.
work.
So the hard work you did there is
Yeah,
coming handy here.
and yeah. So and this yeah.
And
So
and then you said from Jaipur to Delhi, another place, Bukhara. My God, Bukhara
yeah.
dal makhani
Yeah,
is
Bukhara,
incredible.
it's very popular. It's still same menu they are doing, but all menu has different taste concept. Is still is same. So the Bukhara is Bukhara. I learned tandoori cooking very well. You know how temperature, what how is we are making breads and meats. And from Bukhara, I got opportunity to Taj actually again call me and they send it to me private chef for Sir James Goldsmith.
Oh,
Sir
wow.
James. So Sir James Goldsmith, is the father-in-law of Imran Khan. His daughter married to Imran Khan. So I was the private chef for him for his Mexico resort. So when I was 22, I went. I was the private chef for him. So I
At,
cooked.
at that young age, you got all this experience.
Yeah. So from this journey, I gained my confidence. Confidence. So I'm alone and I'm making food for some this very he's also billionaire actually. You can say more billionaire, and I'm cooking for their guests. 12, 14. They love my food. And from Mexico, why this is because just for the 3 months duration, and then like again came back to Taj to reporting. They sent it to me Calcutta, Taj Bengal.
तो
So
मिस्टर माथुर, बात बताओ, तो आपने जयपुर में, आप बहुत यंग थे जब आपने शुरू किया ट्रेनिंग, उसके बाद आप दिल्ली
yeah.
चले गए, उसके बाद आप मेक्सिको चले गए, और इतने बड़े एक पर्सनालिटी के घर में, राइट, और उसके बाद फिर से आप इंडिया में आ गए वापस। तो ये पूरे टाइम पे चैलेंजेस भी तो हुए होंगे, सब कुछ तो आसान
Challenge,
नहीं होगा ना?
yeah, challenges the, but slowly I can manage, and when I gain more confidence, people love it. We love your food. So this is एक again confidence आ जाता है हाँ भाई मैं खाना अच्छा बना रहा हूँ
नहीं
क्योंकि
तो फिर जब जब प्रॉब्लम्स आते थे, एडजस्ट करना था, हर आप दूसरी कंट्री में चले गए, फिर आप इंडिया में जगह जगह 5 स्टार 7 स्टार ये सारी जगहों पे, तो आपको जब लगता था कि अरे ये किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया या फिर कोई क्रिटिसिज्म हो गया, तो उसको कैसे हैंडल करते थे आप?
then I love criticism, then I will improve my, improve and I, some improve my work. And I love criticism. Criticism is very important. You can we are making continuously food. We are own saying okay यार बहुत अच्छा खाना बना रहे हैं बहुत अच्छा खाना बना रहे हैं बहुत अच्छा खाना बना रहे हैं लेकिन sometime क्या sometime people will say कि no इसमें वो है so then I will check I will correct them. So
Okay,
criticism is
so
very important.
that's very good. That helps you grow. So that's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So tell me something. Where are you actually from in India?
I'm from Rajasthan. I born in Jaipur.
Acha, okay. So and you always wanted to become a chef?
No, not always coming to be chef. Actually, when I passed my this 11th, so then I want to do some technical courses. So, but that time I want to be engineer, but it's not happen. So then I joined this culinary, and then
And
I
and
will
you
focus.
and you started enjoying what you were doing then?
Yes. Because I was so young age. I was finished my 18 years in kitchen. So I'm totally focused on kitchen then. And that time, that time chefs are not popular and people will not go to this kitchen. So एक दो साल तक तो मैंने घर पे भी नहीं बताया कि I'm cooking. But when because when
It is so funny because मैं
yeah
और भी मैंने कुछ शेफ से बात की है, and it's the same thing, they don't disclose because families don't like when they
yeah
get to know at that time, right? 20-25 साल
yeah
पहले
yeah
कि
बिल्कुल. So this popular then I went first time Mexico से वापस आया. So फिर सब लोगों के मेरे relatives friends सब everybody comes and ask me what course you did what course you did. So then people will join people little slowly that time also is not popular. But when Sanjeev Kapoor's coming, then people understand what is chef.
He
And
was celebrity chef, right?
yeah,
Sanjeev Kapoor was
yeah,
the first celebrity
yeah,
chef.
yeah.
So आप Mexico से फिर India and then you again joined Taj.
Taj, and then Taj ने मेरे को भेज दिया Taj Bengal Calcutta. That time this was a new property, and they want I opened very good restaurant, national level Sonar Gaon. So this
Of
is this,
course, really popular,
yeah.
very, very popular.
Yeah, so I opened Sonar Gaon, and we did menu planning and everything for 6 months. We do tastings only. After that, we open. And this restaurant is very popular, and people will all national magazines wrote about this and menu also. There is, I learned more vegetarian dishes because Calcutta is, all Marwadis. So lunch, Saturday, Sunday lunch, we do a lot of vegetarian foods, different kind of vegetarian people coming. So this is vegetarian. I learned from Calcutta.
All right. So then do you were doing so well there in India with Taj and all these big
Yeah.
names. How did the journey brought you here in US?
So when I worked in Calcutta, so one Marwadi businessman come to me, and because they want to open restaurant in East Berlin in Germany. That time both wall टूटे तो unification हुआ था. So East Germany they want to foreign investors. So
Okay.
my one Marwari businessman came to me, and they went to open restaurant in Germany. So I said is okay. तो फिर मैं उसके बाद I went to Berlin and I opened first Indian restaurant in East Berlin.
Acha, okay. And were you excited to go out of India to a new country?
You can say destiny. मैं को destiny. I'm going with destiny because when I came back to India, I don't want to go abroad. मैं जाना नहीं चाहता because I love वहाँ पे काम करके मैं बहुत time. Taj Bengal actually it's one of the best job for me, best options.
I think
Because
आपका experience Taj Bengal में best
yeah,
रहा.
yeah. So Taj Bengal, I run the restaurant, and so and we have very good chefs with work with. We have all teamwork. So अचानक फिर ये आ गया तो फिर I went to Germany.
Okay. आप मुझे लगता है कि आपको opportunities मिली और आप लेते गए. चलो ये आ गया अभी. Let
Yeah,
me do this.
बिल्कुल.
चलो अब मैं let me do this. So that is also a very good big part in your success, right? You didn't say no to opportunities.
Yeah. So Germany, when I worked in Germany, so when New York also has one Bukhara. New York has also one Bukhara. If you remember, I don't know you remember or not.
Of course
So
I do.
yeah, so न्यूयॉर्क बुखारा को एक हमारे ताज के यहीं पे शेफ हैं दीवान नाम सुना है आपने दीवान ग्रिल और दीवान
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
तो मिस्टर शिकारा ने दे कॉल्ड मी so they want a chef from Bukhara, and I was in Germany. So they told me to just take US visa. So I took US visa and Germany because we live only for the 3 years. 3 साल रह सकते हैं वहाँ पे.
Okay.
तो उसके बाद मैंने यहाँ न्यूयॉर्क आ गया 94 में. He called me and he gave me all paperwork and everything. So I came for in New York.
So then which restaurant did you join as a chef?
Divan Grill.
Okay, so that was your first restaurant in US.
First restaurant Divan Grill. And
So-
this Mr. Shikara, Bobby Shikara also chef, and so we worked together. We worked long together, and पूरा न्यूयॉर्क जानता था कि I never left Bobby Shikara.
अच्छा, मतलब आप लोग पार्टनरशिप हो गया.
Yeah, because I run this big Divan City restaurant, he runs Long Island. But that time क्या हुआ उस समय मिस्टर वालिया जो हैं वो दावत से उन्होंने टैमरिन खोला था नया 22nd वन.
ओके.
तो मिस्टर वालिया ने कॉल किया मेरे को. सो कि प्लीज आपको मेरे साथ ही काम करना है. आई सेंड अनदर पर्सन बट बिकॉज आई एम हैप्पी व्हाट बिकॉज I'm happy to work with Mr. Chikara and because I run restaurant. So, but again वो there Mr. वालिया पीछे पड़ गए तो वहाँ पे फिर मैं इसलिए गया था आपको बता रहा हूँ जो की है because I read New York Times that time but I know but so I want to know what is celebrity chef because a lot of write up a celebrity.
Yes,
So,
yes.
So I want to know what is celebrity chef.
Okay, so you joined Dawat because you wanted to understand.
Not Dawat, so Tamarind. I opened Tamarind.
Tamarind. Okay, so you wanted to know
22nd.
what is a celebrity chef.
So because there is we have a celebrity chef. She's died, Raji Jelpali. She's
Okay.
she because we have name, so we have want to use her menu. So what Tamarind में जब गया तो it's big restaurant. It's very I is joining from start. We kitchen setup everything. So I make my menu and I make menu and give it to chef Raji was the chef. Raji Jelpili. She's from Memphis.
Okay.
So she's our chef. So she saw me menu. I did tasting. So she tell Mr. Walia ki Mr. Walia if my menu and Hemant menu. Restaurant will be very good and will take three stars from New York Times. But that time right now is a lot of chefs and they're doing good food and good presentation. That time is not so many chefs. Tamarind is the first restaurant. Change the Indian orders to be restaurant with doing making like contemporary style. If you
And tamarind, I will say till today,
Yeah, still,
the
yeah. Mr.
food
Miller, no,
taste, the
no, yeah,
ambience.
yeah, yeah. Mr. Valia is, I can say, in one of the best operator in states.
So
He knows.
how many years were you there at Tamarind?
Tamarind also very short brief. What my Tamarind may come, I work Tamarind. So suddenly I called from, California. One person,
Acha.
ki chef, you told you work in East Coast lot. Now come to West Coast.
आप वहां चले गए?
So yeah, so 1 year I done, but it's good for me actually. This is progress. You can say this is my progress.
Yes,
So
yes.
वहाँ पे KPMG के one of the KPMG member got one big restaurant. So this restaurant also I opened like a French restaurant, three-star French restaurant. We have wine sommelier. We have everybody. It's very good, and I make good menu. Plated.
How did you learn to be a French chef?
No. No, not French chef. I'm not French chef. French style restaurant. I told you.
French style restaurant.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but it
For
was
the
Indian food.
Indian food. Yeah, all plated, all good food. Yeah, and so we got very good reviews that time. But Silicon Valley, this dot com is all gone. It's
The
2001.
boom आया and boom चला गया.
Boom,
Yes.
chala gaya.
Yes,
But
yes.
we are a restaurant. We got good reviews. But I went for there only one year. Then Mr. Bobby Shikara ने मेरे को promise किया कि तू वापस if you come back, please कहीं और नहीं जाना, मेरे साथ ही काम करना है. तो
Okay.
वो भी थे. तो फिर I come back and I came Diwan. So Diwan I changed the menu and then New York Times my first review. So New York Times coming and he gave me very good review, 2 star. So मैंने I 2 stars. So and we did very good business. Same time what happened if one restaurant is very small restaurant called Amma.
Okay.
You heard name
Yes,
Amma?
of course. Of
So
course.
this
Of
was on
course.
51st Street. So their owner is वो मेरे पीछे पड़ गए कि हमारे रेस्टोरेंट को आपको करना है. बहुत छोटा रेस्टोरेंट था.
आपके
So
पीछे सब पढ़ते थे कि आ जाओ
हाँ,
आप हमारे साथ काम
या
करो.
फिर वो उसके वो बहुत छोटा रेस्टोरेंट था बिकॉज आई एम रनिंग 175 सीट रेस्टोरेंट एंड देन वेरी स्मॉल रेस्टोरेंट. तो इज कंप्लीटली चेंज. सो सेम टाइम माय फ्रेंड इज सुवीर सरन, इफ योर नाम सुना होगा आपने.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
सो सुवीर सरन, his book launch. So I told Suvir because he want to work with me in kitchen. So I told Suvir कि just check the restaurant अगर but तो उस रेस्टोरेंट में अगर हम थोड़ा कंसेप्ट और मेन्यू चेंज कर सकते हैं. अच्छा तो फिर देख तो he went he told me कि okay I have idea, we'll make menu, good menu, and then I told me this owners कि I will come and we'll join you.
So you
Yeah.
are the first Indian chef in New
Yeah.
York who
न्यूयॉर्क
got
he
the.
got Michelin star, but वो स्टार मेरे को मिला था देवी में. So I got two Michelin star in two restaurants.
That is awesome. And you are the owner of Tulsi as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was a partner also.
Okay.
So
Very
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
So Michelin star and Michelin star. So Tulsi के बाद क्या हुआ?
So Tulsi, when I work in Tulsi, so one investor came to me. I did his daughter wedding. So he came. He told me कि I want to take a group of restaurants plus catering kitchen. If you say yes, so I can go. तो फिर मैंने सोचा, उन्होंने this is big with investors, so in profitable business. So I said I just running one restaurant, just try multiple restaurant. So then I तुलसी से मैंने फिर multiple restaurant पे हमने join किया. I was the CEO for this, Lexington Avenue restaurants, all
Yes.
ढाबा, साहिब और ये सब, वो
पूरी
चोला,
स्ट्रीट जो है लेक्सिंगटन
पूरे स्ट्रीट
एवेन्यू।
चोला। तो आई नो शिवा तो शिवा चलाता था, शिवा से हमने बाय कर लिया हमारे इन्वेस्टर ग्रुप ने। तो आई रन 7 रेस्टोरेंट्स एंड प्लस कॉमर्शियल किचन। दिस इज ऑल्सो गुड एक्सपीरियंस फॉर मी देन। तो बट वो क्या हुआ कि वो इन्वेस्टर्स इज समथिंग इज रॉन्ग, तो हमारे वो स्प्लिट करना पड़ा। तो उसमें मैंने क्या किया, मैंने अच्छा, मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा हुआ कि आई टेक केटरिंग डिवीजन, केटरिंग किचन ले लिया मैंने।
तो सारा केटरिंग फॉर ऑल दीज 7 रेस्टोरेंट्स एंड एवरीथिंग इज अंडर यू।
या दैट टाइम। बट उसके बाद थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हुआ इन्वेस्टर का, थोड़ा हुआ, तो हमने वो स्प्लिट कर लिया। तो स्प्लिट के बाद सबने अपना वो अपने अपने करके एक 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 जो है इवेंट इन्वेस्टर वो रेस्टोरेंट करता, उसने के रेस्टोरेंट ले लिए, मैंने केटरिंग डिवीजन ले लिया।
ओके, वेरी नाइस। तो आज आपके पास क्या क्या? आई एम श्योर
आज तो फिर
बहुत
जब
कुछ
मैं
है।
ये केटरिंग किचन लिया ना मैंने, सो फिर एक रेस्टोरेंट प्रॉब्लम में था, ये सार, अगर इफ यू नो, सार्क से पहले वहाँ एक रेस्टोरेंट था, इंडियन इंडियन चाइनीज।
हम्म।
तो वो ओनर थे वो सरदार जी, वो थे, उनका थोड़ा ही कांट रनिंग। तो मैंने लोकेशन देखा, सो लोकेशन देख के मैंने कहा ये लोकेशन ले लेता हूँ, तो जिनके साथ हमने फिर सार ले लिया।
ओके।
तो
तो
भी सार,
सार का क्विजीन क्या है, किस तरह का है?
सार हमारे पास सार का हमने सोचा एक्चुअली, सार एक्चुअली रीजनल क्यूजिन है, फ्रॉम ऑल ओवर डिशेज रखी हुई हमने। बट सार इज नियर टाइम स्क्वायर। सो वी हैव क्लाइंटेल, इज थिएटर प्लस लोकल टूरिस्ट, काफी सारे हैं। तो कंफर्टेबल खाना रखा, जल्दी से पिकअप हो लोग, क्योंकि खाते हैं जाते हैं। तो सार सार पहले लिया, सार के साथ साथ फिर सार जब लिया हमने तो कोविड आ गया, है ना। सो कोविड, बट लैंडलॉर्ड वाज गुड, लैंडलॉर्ड ने कहा अच्छा रेस्टोरेंट क्लोज नहीं करना, आई विल हेल्प। तो तो कोविड में आई हैव कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इन सिटी हॉल, तो आई गॉट गुड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फ्रॉम मेकिंग मील्स।
ओके।
सो तो उसके बाद मैंने वो बनाया, कोविड गोइंग वेरी वेल, बिजनेस इज रनिंग, इज ऑल स्मूथ, एवरीबडी हैज जॉब हियर, किचन एंड दिस बिग बिग जॉब। तो उसके बाद जब मैं कोविड था, तो एक टीम का ने एक रेस्टोरेंट खोला था, वहाँ रेस्टोरेंट उसका बंद हुआ था, तो वो टीम खाली बैठी थी। तो
ओके।
उस टीम फिर हमने वीरे का ढाबा एक मिल गया था, लोकेशन अच्छी थी 13 पे, वो लिया।
मैंने अभी उसके बारे में पढ़ा, वीरे का ढाबा। ये तो नाम बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है भैया, ये तो मुझे अपना ही है,
सो
ये ढाबा तो
वो
अपना ही है।
या वो रेस्टोरेंट वेरी गुड कंफर्ट फॉर NYU एंड प्लस हॉस्पिटल्स, कम अफोर्डेबल प्राइस है बहुत, इज नॉट एक्सपेंसिव। रेगुलर पंजाबी खाना रखा, बट होम स्टाइल, नॉट क्रीमी और नथिंग।
ढाबा ढाबा स्टाइल।
ढाबा ढाबा स्टाइल।
ओके। सो
ओके।
सो आपको शेफ कैसा लगता है कि मिशलिन स्टार हो गए, बड़े बड़े रेस्टोरेंट हो गए, इतने बड़े बड़े लोगों के काम, और आपने इतने लोगों को सर्व किया, आज जो आपकी पूरी जर्नी थी, हाउ डू यू
हाँ।
फील लाइक? कभी सोचते
या
हो?
ये नहीं नहीं सोचता हूँ मैं कभी। आई डिड लॉट ऑफ हाई एंड वेडिंग्स आल्सो, लाइक यू कैन से दिस, ब्रिटिश प्राइम मिनिस्टर जो अपने मिस्टर नारायण मूर्ति के सन इन लॉ, उसकी उनकी न्यूयॉर्क वेडिंग मैंने की थी।
ओह,
Yeah, I
वाओ,
did Ajay Banga's both daughters' wedding. I did Rajat Gupta's daughter's wedding also.
amazing. So
So
when people approach you for all these high net worth people, they approach you, right? And celebrities come to you. What is the
yeah,
interaction like? Is
no, the
there a very
interaction is very very good. Like Mr. Banga is like very good, very down to earth, very family. Like family. He introduced me to like this is he's only. So this looks, for me, मेरे को लगता है कि भाई बहुत अच्छा लगता है, you can say.
तो मुझे आपसे बात करके ऐसे लग रहा है कि एक सिंपल सा लड़का जो बहुत कुछ करना चाहता था लाइफ में, उसने
हाँ,
बहुत हार्ड वर्क किया, बहुत सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज लेता, और आज पर जो अंदर से जो सिंप्लिसिटी अभी भी है, द
हाँ,
हेमंत माथुर
वो
सिंपल
या
अभी भी है, वैसे ही है।
या नहीं वो है। नहीं, आई कुक फॉर मिस्टर मोदी आल्सो, न्यूयॉर्क।
ओह,
आई डिड एक्चुअली, मुझे चांस मिला तो आई कुक फॉर हिम 3 times एक्चुअली। One time I went to Guyana also for him.
अच्छा, oh wow. So
I
I think I have to now come for a very private chef kind of experience with you, ताकि मैं आपका खाना जो आप मेरे लिए
Yeah,
बनाओ, मैं वो खाना
bilkul.
चाहती हूँ.
Yeah, I did. I did this way also. Sometime people, call me and I'm going to, I make food for them.
वो तो मैं आपके साथ आई वांट टू एक्सपीरियंस दैट. तो मुझे बताओ, आपको द किंग ऑफ तंदूर क्यों कहा जाता है?
Because because I have good tandoori food. My tandoori food is very popular, and lamb chops. जिससे मेरे को people जानते हैं lamb chops के उस पे जानते हैं. And New York Times actually write about this statement. He best lamb chops in New York, Hemant Mathur.
वाओ.
Not so, and he wrote actually.
सो
If
लैम चॉप्स तो मुझे लगता है मैं भी बहुत अच्छे बनाती हूँ. तो किसी दिन मैं बना के लाऊंगी आपके लिए. आप खा के बताना
बिल्कुल
इसमें क्या कमी रह गई है.
ठीक है, ठीक है. नहीं, आप खाना अच्छा बनाते हैं. या हाँ,
अच्छा,
हाँ, हाँ.
तो शेफ मुझे बताओ, आपकी लाइफ का मोटो क्या है? अभी तो बहुत लंबी जर्नी हो गई है, यहाँ तक पहुंच गए. व्हाट इज द
अभी
मोटो
लाइफ
ऑफ शेफ
मोटो
माथुर?
अभी लाइफ मोटो तो बस ये है कि आई वांट my journey now. Right now I'm trained by young chefs, and I want to be more young chefs coming and create menus. And so I just want to see, I'm training my all youngest people to learn the food, or to be or my daughter study finished, then maybe I will stop.
ओह अच्छा, ओके. देन यू विल बी रिटायर्ड, देन यू विल एंजॉय फूड और लोगों का फूड.
या
बहुत अच्छा लगा
बट वो
आपसे बात
होगा नहीं.
करके.
वो
क्यों?
होगा नहीं.
क्यों?
क्योंकि बिकॉज मैम व्हेन आई सिट होम, I can't sit home.
So you will never retire, and we don't want you to retire because we want you to cook all this
Yeah.
amazing food. So we
Yeah.
will see you very soon in New York, in SAR.
Okay.
बहुत जल्दी मिलेंगे, ठीक है? But it was
बिल्कुल.
lovely talking to you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for Moments with Mamta.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thanks for joining me on Moments with Mamta. If today's conversation inspired you, please follow, share, and stay connected for more meaningful stories. Until next time, this is Mamta signing off.